Let me tell you a secret most people will never understand. Reality doesn't begin out there. It starts in here. Your mind is the source code of your life. If you can't hold the vision in your head with absolute clarity and aggression, you'll never hold it in your hands. Period. People wake up broke, tired, and defeated because their mind is broke, tired, and defeated. You walk around manifesting the opposite of success because your thoughts are scattered, weak, and based on fear. That's why you stay average. That's why the world ignores you. You want to change your life. Good. Start by changing the mental movie you play on repeat. I'm talking about seeing it so clearly that your body reacts to it before anything happens. Your heart rate goes up, your focus sharpens, your emotions align. That's real manifestation, not some fluffy dream board nonsense. This is war. You're programming your reality like a machine. You've been taught to react to the world. Wrong. The world reacts to you. Your mind leads, your body follows, and the universe obeys. But if your mind is sloppy, don't expect sharp results. If your goals are soft, your actions will be weaker. Get violent with your clarity. Be so specific that doubt doesn't have a crack to crawl through. And here's the punchline. You already manifest every day. You just do it unconsciously. You manifest procrastination, weakness, excuses. Time to reverse it. Start manifesting discipline, power, movement, vision. And once your mind is locked, nothing can stop you. Not the economy, not your past, not the haters. Nothing. This isn't magic, it's mechanics. The mind moves first, reality follows. So ask yourself right now, what am I manifesting today? Greatness or garbage? You must see it before you touch it. That's not some feel-good quote you toss around to sound inspired. It's the foundation of everything real achievers build. Every success story, every empire, every fortune, every transformation, it all starts in the mind. Before the mansion, there was a mental image. Before the business, there was a burning vision. Before the world took notice, someone had already seen it behind closed eyes, alone in silence, long before the world even cared. If you can't visualize your goal in ultra, high-definition clarity, how on earth do you expect it to show up in your reality? Most people have no vision. They say they want success, but they've never really seen it. They've never sat still, closed their eyes, and built the image of exactly what their life is supposed to look like. They've never imagined the way it feels, the way it smells, the way the air tastes when you wake up on your terms, not someone else's schedule. What you don't realize is that your brain is a machine. It doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. If you feed it consistent, powerful visions, it will rewire everything in your system to make it real. Your behavior, your instincts, your gut reactions, they start aligning with what you've mentally accepted as truth. But if your mind is chaotic, full of blurry ideas and self-doubt, then your results will be just as messy. People think manifestation is some magical process. It's not. It's psychology. It's biology. It's strategic mental programming. If you keep showing your mind images of failure, laziness, doubt, and struggle, that's exactly what it will manifest for you. But if you wake up and choose to feed it intensity, power, and precision, suddenly your entire life starts shifting. The opportunities come, not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. You stopped being blind to them. Here's what separates winners from everyone else. They don't wait to see results before they believe. They believe first, and the results follow. That's the key difference. You think the top performers doubt themselves every morning. Absolutely not. They're too busy seeing the finish line. They're so obsessed with the end result that the pain of the process doesn't faze them. The clarity of their vision makes the chaos of the journey irrelevant. You're not failing because the world is against you. You're failing because your mind is working against you. You walk through life with your eyes open, but your inner vision closed. That's why you can't touch what you want, because you've never truly seen it. You're trying to build a skyscraper with no blueprint. Imagine that. Would you ever trust an architect who said, "I don't have a plan, I'm just going to start building and hope it turns out right"? Of course not. That would be insane. Yet you treat your life the same way. You wake up, move around, and call it progress. Meanwhile, you have no image in your head, no structure, no mission, no design. And then you wonder why it's not working. You have to become obsessed with your vision. Not just interested. Not just inspired on Sundays. Obsessed. So obsessed that you can see it even with your eyes open. So clear that it doesn't matter if it takes months or years. You already know it's yours. You've touched it in your mind 1,000 times before it ever shows up. That's how manifestation works. You see it, then you touch it. Never the other way around. Belief is the catalyst. It's the first spark that ignites every result you've ever dreamed of having. Without belief, everything else falls apart. Your plans, your effort, your actions, they all become hollow. You can work hard, stay up late, hustle for years. But if you don't actually believe that what you want is already possible for you, then you're just pretending. You're going through the motions while silently expecting to fail. That's what most people do. They try to convince the world to believe in them before they've done the hard job of convincing themselves. Your mind will not allow you to outwork your own belief system. If deep down you think you're not good enough, that you're too late, too average, or that success is meant for someone else, then every decision you make will subconsciously support that internal story. You'll self-sabotage. You'll hesitate when it's time to strike. You'll waste time analyzing instead of executing, and you'll call it being careful or waiting for the right moment, when in reality you just don't believe you're worthy of winning. Belief isn't just positive thinking, it's mental armor. It's what you fall back on when the world hits back harder than you expected. And it will. Life will punch you in the mouth. It'll throw delays, setbacks, rejection, and pain in your path. That's guaranteed. What's not guaranteed is how you respond. That's where belief comes in. It's the voice inside that says, I don't care how bad it looks. I know where I'm going. When everyone else is doubting you, laughing at you, or telling you to quit, belief is what lets you smile and keep pushing like none of that noise matters. You don't need the world to approve of you. You don't need your friends to see your vision. You don't need applause or external validation. You just need to believe with such raw, unshakable certainty that the world doesn't have a choice but to eventually follow your lead. Because here's the truth, belief creates pressure. And pressure creates change. When you move like you're already successful, people start treating you differently. Opportunities show up. Doors open. Not because the world magically transformed, but because your energy did. You stopped showing up like someone who's hoping, and you started showing up like someone who's decided. If you're sitting there waiting for proof before you believe, you're going to be sitting for a long time. That's not how success works. Success doesn't send out previews. It rewards people who move with conviction before the outcome is visible. You have to believe before you have any reason to. That's what separates the elite from the rest. Everyone wants to win. Few are willing to believe they're supposed to. You want to manifest something real. You want to change your life. You want to touch the untouchable. Then it starts with this stop doubting. Stop questioning if it's possible. Burn the plan B. Look yourself in the mirror and decide that no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, you're going to make it happen. Because you believe. And once you believe, your actions will match. Your standards will rise. Your time won't be wasted. Your focus will sharpen. And the universe, like a magnet, will respond. Belief isn't some optional mindset tool. It's the core of every empire, every victory, every comeback story. Without it, you're just pretending. But with it, you become unstoppable. Clarity of vision equals power. There's no shortcut around it. If you don't know exactly what you want, you'll never get it. Life doesn't reward vague dreams. It rewards precision, direction, and certainty. Most people think they're aiming high, but the truth is, they don't even have a real target. They're just shooting in the dark, hoping they hit something that feels like success. That's not ambition. That's desperation dressed up as motivation. Clarity is the weapon. It's the difference between walking toward your future like a sniper versus stumbling around like a blindfolded tourist. When your vision is razor sharp, your choices become easier. You know what to say no to, you know who to ignore. You know where your energy goes. But when your vision is blurry, everything feels overwhelming. You overthink, you second guess, you chase distractions and confuse movement with progress. You feel busy but go nowhere. You can't just want to be rich or successful or free. That's too general. Everyone wants that. The universe doesn't respond to weak, unclear desires. You have to be detailed. How much do you want to earn? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? What does your daily routine look like? Who are you surrounded by? Where do you live? What time do you wake up? What do you drive? What are you building that leaves a legacy? That level of vision isn't just nice to have. It's mandatory. Because here's the truth. You are being pulled in 1,000 directions every single day. Social media, society, friends, family, fear. Everyone and everything has an opinion on how you should live. If your vision isn't solid, you will get dragged. You'll wake up one day living a life you didn't choose, working a job you don't like, for a dream you don't care about, all because you didn't define what you actually wanted. That's how people end up bitter and regretful. Not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lacked clarity. When you have real clarity, you move different. You don't beg for motivation. You don't wait for signs. You operate with intention. You wake up with urgency because your destination is locked in. Clarity removes resistance. It destroys laziness. It wipes out hesitation. Why? Because your mind stops wasting energy on options. There's only one path, one target, one outcome that matters. Everything else is noise. Don't confuse being busy with being focused. You can spend your entire life working hard and still end up nowhere if your vision isn't locked. A man without clarity will always be a slave to distraction. But a man with vision becomes a force of nature. He doesn't waste time. He doesn't chase approval. He doesn't entertain anything that doesn't align with the end game. And when people say he's too intense, too obsessed, too extreme, that's when he knows he's on the right track. So if your life feels stuck right now, check your clarity. Write it down. Define the outcome. Make it detailed enough that a stranger could read it and picture your dream as if it were a movie. And then replay that vision in your head every day. Burn it into your mind until it becomes your internal compass. Because once your vision is clear, your power becomes unstoppable. You stop reacting and you start dominating. Discipline is what separates those who wish from those who win. Everyone talks about dreams, goals, and success like it's some kind of fantasy, like all they need is motivation or a lucky break. That's why most people stay stuck, because they rely on feelings. They want to feel inspired before they act. They want the stars to align, their energy to be perfect, and their schedule to be free before they make a move. But the harsh truth, success doesn't care how you feel. Discipline is showing up even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. That's the difference. That's the edge. Your mind is your strongest asset or your worst enemy. If you let it run the show without discipline, it'll find every excuse under the sun to quit. It'll convince you that today's not the right day, that you're tired, that you've earned a break, that maybe you're not cut out for it. And if you listen to that voice long enough, it becomes your reality. Your habits become weak. Your actions become inconsistent. And your dreams stay exactly where they are dreams. Discipline means doing what needs to be done regardless of your mood. It's the ability to override emotion with execution. It's not about being robotic or emotionless. It's about being relentless. You build discipline by doing hard things. Waking up when it's easier to sleep. Saying no when temptation screams yes. Pushing through when your body says stop. Every time you choose the hard path, you make your mind stronger. Every time you refuse to fold under pressure, you become more dangerous. People think they need motivation to start. Wrong. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. You can't build anything real if you're only working when it's convenient. Champions are built in discomfort, Legends are forged in repetition. You think the world's best performers wait until they feel inspired. No. They train like machines, they eat like warriors, they focus like assassins because they're disciplined. They don't chase comfort, they chase growth. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not supposed to be. It's waking up early when no one sees. It's working late when no one cares. It's sacrificing now for the life you said you wanted. That's where winners are made, in silence, in the dark, with no applause. And the people who lack discipline, they look at disciplined people like they're lucky, or extreme, or gifted. But what they're really seeing is consistency and sacrifice stacked daily with no excuses. There will be days you feel tired, days you feel defeated, days you wonder if it's even worth it. That's when discipline steps in and says, get up anyway. Because success doesn't ask for permission. It rewards the obsessed. And when you make discipline a non-negotiable part of your identity, that's when you break through. That's when you become unshakable. You stop waiting for permission and start creating results. So understand this, the world doesn't owe you anything. Your dreams are not entitled to come true just because you want them. You owe why you. And discipline is how you prove to yourself every single day that you're serious, that you mean it, that you're not playing games. Because when motivation fades and emotion lies, discipline stands tall. And that's how you win. Not once, not occasionally, but every damn day. You can't attract something you don't feel worthy of. That's the truth most people don't want to admit. They think manifesting is all about vision boards and positive affirmations, but deep down, they carry this hidden belief that they're not enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not deserving enough. And that belief, that's what kills everything before it even begins. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you believe you deserve. If deep inside you feel unworthy, no amount of wishing or visualizing is going to change your reality. You've got to rewire your self-worth if you're serious about manifesting anything real. This isn't some feel-good nonsense. This is war. It's you against the years of doubt, insecurity, and self-sabotage you've been programmed with. Because every time you start moving towards something better, that old script kicks in. That voice says, who do you think you are? It tells you to play small, stay safe, stop trying. And if you don't fight back aggressively, that voice wins. And when that voice wins, your dreams lose. Feeling worthy means you stop apologizing for wanting more. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop settling for less because it feels familiar. You want to know why you keep attracting the same problems, the same relationships, the same failures. It's because deep down, you think that's all you're worth. Change that belief and everything changes. You start walking different, talking different, thinking different. You stop chasing validation and start building power. You've got to walk into every room like you belong there. Not because of arrogance, but because of alignment. You've done the work. You've built the skill. You've earned the seat. And if you haven't yet, then get to work. But never confuse humility with self-doubt. You can be humble and still know your worth. The world won't hand you anything just because you're a good person. You get what you claim, not what you wish for. Start seeing yourself as the person who already has the life you want. How would they move? How would they speak? What decisions would they make? Now embody that. Not when it's convenient, but every single day. Stop waiting to feel worthy and decide that you are. Worthiness is not something you wait to earn. It's a decision you make about who you are. And that decision influences every action you take. This is why most people never level up. They try to fix their outside life without upgrading their inner identity. They chase money, status, love, but deep down, they don't believe they're worthy of any of it. So even if they get it, they sabotage it. They push it away. They unconsciously destroy it. Because your reality will always fall to the level of your self-worth, not your desires, your identity. So don't just work on your goals. Work on the part of you that believes you can't have them. Destroy that voice. Replace it with a mindset so bulletproof that nothing shakes it. Because once you believe, really believe, that you deserve what you want, you stop asking for it and start expecting it. And that expectation, that's what moves mountains. That's what bends reality. That's how you attract the life that was always meant for you. Your environment is either building your mindset or breaking it. There is no neutral ground. Every place you go, every person you spend time with, every piece of content you consume, it's all programming you. The problem is most people live in toxic environments and don't even realize it. They're surrounded by people who mock ambition, laugh at discipline, and fear change. So when someone tries to rise above that, they get resistance. Not because they're wrong, but because they're disrupting the comfort of mediocrity. If you're serious about changing your life, you have to become ruthless about what you allow around you. Take a good, hard look at your circle. Are the people around you pushing you forward or pulling you back? Are they expanding your vision or feeding your doubts? You'll never manifest greatness if you keep surrounding yourself with average minds who are allergic to growth. And it's not always loud negativity. It's the subtle, casual comments like, "Don't work too hard," or "That sounds risky." Those aren't harmless. Those are mental viruses. They plant seeds of hesitation in your mind. And if you don't guard yourself, those seeds grow into self-doubt. You've got to be intentional. Design your environment like your future depends on it. Because it does. You wouldn't grow a palm tree in a freezer, right? So why are you trying to grow dreams in an environment full of fear, gossip, and laziness? The wrong environment can kill your ambition before it even gets momentum. It's not about being better than anyone. It's about being committed to becoming your best. And sometimes that means walking away from people who've been in your life for years. If they're not aligned with your vision, they're a distraction. Simple. It's not just about people either. What do you feed your mind daily? Are you scrolling nonsense for hours? Watching people who don't inspire you? Comparing yourself to strangers online? Or are you feeding your brain with knowledge? Listening to people who challenge you to grow? Consuming content that builds your mindset like armor? Your mind is a battlefield. If you don't control what goes into it, you lose by default. You become reactive, soft, and emotionally unstable. But if you take charge, you become dangerous, focused, resilient, and clear. And here's the truth. Sometimes your environment isn't just around you. It's in you. It's your thoughts, your habits, your routines. You can move to a new city and still bring your same lazy patterns with you. So the shift has to start inside. Clean up your mind. Discipline your habits. Create rituals that align with your goals. Then build an external environment that reinforces that inner power. When your mind and surroundings are both locked in, you become unstoppable. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or desire. They fail because they underestimate how toxic their environment really is. They keep trying to rise while surrounded by anchors. They keep looking for motivation while sleeping next to distractions. Stop doing that to yourself. This is war. You can't afford to let your environment be an accident. Craft it. Own it. Control it. Because your environment will either elevate you or erase you. There is no in between.